over the country. Sometimes for no money, just show up because you believe in it, because it's friends. What for you has really said, wait a minute, it's not enough for me to get to 1 million Twitter followers. It's not enough for me to be on one of the top rated shows on BET, but I just want more. What did you go through in your own life in New Orleans, going into Chicago, that said, wait a minute, becoming famous and being great at my job isn't enough if I can't give back?
You know, I think that we all, as human beings, have a civil duty to each other, because at the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters on this earth, be it whoever you believe in and whatever religious beliefs you have. At the end of the day, you know, you do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. And I truly believe in karma, and what goes around comes around. I've seen it in real life scenarios and situations, not only in the industry, but in my own family, where there may be that one black sheep in the family who is outcasted, who is not treated well. But when one person decides to give their time to see what exactly is the issue and the problem with that person and bring them around, you see the rest of the family come together and put their arm around them instead of pulling them aside. And one thing I want to say to the young man who stood up and said something about fitting in with the green shirt back there, I see you, sweetie. It's not so much about trying to fit in, because usually when you're trying to fit in so hard into a circle, that's not the circle that you need to be in. You're trying to be in something that you don't even belong in. Not even understanding that you yourselves have so much beautiful talent and emotions that you possess yourself, that you by yourself are such a beautiful person that people are going to want to fit in with you and be around your energy and what you could bring to the table. So I could say this to all young people that are here right now. If you're trying so hard to impress somebody else to get their recognition, honey, that is not the person's attention that you need. It's not. Because when somebody truly has interest in you and sees the beautiful person for who you are, you're going to create a circle that is supposed to be around you, and for people that really want the better good in you. Now, I'm not saying not to try to fit into circles that will empower you or better you. You know, I had a dream, like, oh, it sounded like Dr. King for a minute. Well, pull back real quick. Martin Luther King. I had a dream of, at first my dream in New Orleans was, and I come from a small city inside of New Orleans, and even though some people see New Orleans as a big city, we country, and the city folk, they don't really look at us like it's a real big city. But I always had a dream and aspirations of moving to New York and doing something. I didn't know what that something was. I just knew it was in New York City. And I did whatever it took to find what my passion was, and that's another thing. Finding what you're passionate about. For me, it was music. I loved music. I loved being around music. I tried to dance. I ain't got no rhythm. I still don't. It's not that funny, though. Come on, y'all. But, you know, you find your passion in what you like, and you continue to surround yourself in what you love. And sooner or later, you're going to realize that you're working every single day doing something you love, and you won't be miserable as half the people on this whole entire world are miserable because they're not following their true dream, their true calling, their true passion. And don't let anybody, and I think what you said, Pastor, was so big, don't let anybody block your dreams or block your blessings, because even though your parents might not see your vision, somebody else will. And when you convince them that this is what you truly want and this is what you want to do with your life, they're going to start to support you and acknowledge you. And the day will come, well, they will say, you know what? You were right. I didn't help you, but you were right. But how can I help you now? Or what can I do now? And there's nothing better or self-fulfilling than proving your parents wrong. I love doing it. I love seeing my mama say, I told you so. You want that bag now? Yeah, come on. You know, I enjoy it. And you have a gratitude, but not only because you love doing what you do every single day, but you continue it and you surround yourself with great people who see your vision as well. And Caren, thank you. I think what you're doing is amazing and it's very commendable. And like I told you, even if this room isn't filled, there's people that are going to go away with your message. So I really, truly believe in what you're doing. But follow your passions, follow your dreams. Don't try to fill in to the circles that you don't really need to be in, because at the end of the day, Those people do not matter. And just like Ron said, there's so many people that I go back to the city of New Orleans and I see them doing the same thing they were doing since high school. And we're talking about, I'm not gonna get my age, but years later, you know, and it's kind of sad and pathetic, and you don't want to be part of that statistic. If anything, don't be a statistic.
Let me say this. Thank you, Rocsi. And I want to come back to you on the next question. But what I need is y'all. And so there's some young people in here that want to ask somebody on this panel something, even if it's just Caren and Rocsi, because they're the ones that don't live here. That's fine. I just want to hear your voice. And so I can see you, because this light is incredibly bright over here, I'm going to need smooth as butter to come over here into this aisle. So if you all will come into this middle aisle here or here so I can see you if you have a question, then I really want to make sure that we start to hear your voice. But there was the sister right here in the front row talked about relationships and violence in relationships. And for those of you that aren't aware, the number of young people who are in abusive relationships is unbelievable. And I'm talking about young people as young as the age as 13 are in relationships where not just the boy is hitting on the young girl, but they're hitting each other. So Rocsi, I know you date because I watch TMZ, and you be dating big people, like big people be following y'all around. I'm not gonna say who it is, but he's a donkey. But you date.
He was a dragon too.
Yes, he was a dragon too, and a professor. But you date, and so as a woman who has been in relationship with men, can you talk about, for the young women who are in here, any challenges that you've had to go through to ensure that you respected yourself enough so that others would respect you in return?
I will say this to all the parents that are in the room and all the young ladies that are listening right now. If it wasn't for the morals and the values that my mother instilled in me at a young age, I would not be the woman that I am today. With that being said, I have no problem saying that I waited to date and my parents did not allow me. My mother, what? If I had a boy call my house, it was gonna be trouble. Y'all seen World War II and World War III? I mean, there hasn't been a World War III, but it happened in my house a few times. There just was no witnesses but me and her. My mother didn't allow it, and I think a lot of our young mothers out there are a lot more lenient because we may not have that much more knowledge of how to raise a child and properly raise a child. And I say this, ladies, I waited until college to have my first boyfriend. I was lucky I got to prom. And when I say I was lucky my mama didn't drop me off personally to my senior prom. She was strict. And mothers that are in here right now, and even young mothers, do not be afraid to instill that discipline into your children, especially your daughters. Do not allow it. Do not allow it. I didn't know, and nor was I. Granted, you guys are so much more way advanced than I had and have more technology to learn more things before I did. But to all my young ladies in here, if he treats you wrong, he's gonna always treat you wrong. And he is only gonna respect you as much as you respect yourself and you allow yourself to be treated. So if you have no respect for yourself, he's not gonna respect you. If you don't stand up for yourself, he's not gonna stand up for you. You have to love yourself, and it all starts with loving yourself and valuing yourself. Because there's gonna be a lot of fellas out here that is gonna try to get the cookies, like Steve Harvey says, with one motive and one initiative, and it's not worth throwing your entire life. And I'm not just talking pregnancy. I'm talking HIV. I'm talking STDs, QUIZ, whatever you want to call it. It's out there. And we can't be negligent about it. There is no problem with waiting to date if you're not ready to date. And yeah, you might have a little crush on a boy, you know, but when they want to take it to that next level and you're not ready to, there's no problem in saying no. And that doesn't make you less of a person. And another thing, why I believe, and though I haven't been able to get the relationship thing down packed, but I'm working on it, it's a work in progress. Privacy, ladies, everybody doesn't have to know your business. Everybody does not have to know your business. Nor does Twitter or Facebook or whatever books you want to open. They do not have to know your business. The only reason why I truly believe Jay-Z and Beyonce are as successful as they were, because it wasn't until 3 years after we found out they were dating that we realized that they were even a couple. And in my relationship, profile or not high profile, it's nobody's darn business at the end of the day. So you have to respect yourself in privacy with that.
If I could just chime in. Sure.